It's rare to find anyone in this industry who started selling treats with all of their ducks in a row, and by ducks, I mean paperwork. Most bakers that I've worked with have started out with similar stories in that they did not set out to start a business. I'll call those folks the accidental entrepreneurs. These are the bakers, cakers, and sweet treat makers who are always asked to bring treats to the office or family functions, and then eventually that escalates to requests from non-family members and friends of friends. Next thing you know, you're getting paid to create yummy treats for total strangers, and because this whole entrepreneur thing kind of snuck up on you, you never took the time to become legal at all. You may have never established an LLC, you never scheduled an appointment for your home inspection, you never checked into the Cottage Food Laws. Shoot, you may not have even known that there were Cottage Food Laws that you needed to look into. Well, if you're feeling overwhelmed with the idea of going legal, I'm going to address a series of questions to help ease a little bit of your anxiety. Now, I want you to keep in mind that since each state has its own set of laws or may not even have a cottage food law at all, I strongly encourage you to use this video as the starting point to the rest of your research. I will not address each specific state. However, I will touch on the overall general concepts related to cottage food laws, and I will leave a few relevant links down in the description box to help you continue on your research. Also, feel free to drop your questions in the comments below if you have questions that I didn't address here in the video, and I'll try to help you out. Now, with all of that said, let's get started. So point number one, what are cottage food laws? Cottage food laws allow food producers to use appliances in their homes to produce certain low-risk, non-potentially hazardous foods to the general public. Number two, are there any required registrations, licenses, or permits needed to run a cottage food business out of your home? Well, if nothing else, I want you to remember that the theme of this video is that it depends on your state. So the states vary in the requirements as to whether or not a cottage food operation should hold a license or permit. Some states like Florida, Maryland, and Michigan do not require a license as of the filming of this video because things change all the time, while other states require a specific license. All Colorado requires is a certificate in safe food handling and processing. Washington and Utah both require certain permits, and Washington State also has different fees associated with obtaining permits. Some states may also require an on-site kitchen inspection, so it really all depends. So by the time you watch this video, who knows, all of those things could have changed, so it's really to your benefit to do your own research. Now, to begin that research, I recommend you looking into your state's Department of Health website or your state's agricultural website, and that's going to show you more information such as what is required to sell under the cottage food laws, what you can and can't sell under that food law as well, or even if there's a law in your state at all. Now, to do that search, you all know how to Google. Just type in your state's name, Department of Health, or your state's name and Department of Agriculture. There may be forms, guidelines, or someone to call or email if you have any questions. Also, to continue on in your research beyond the website, you can go to some of the links that I have posted down in the description box, or you can connect with the law office of Dawn Belisle. She's actually a lawyer turned baker who helps folks in the industry understand the laws behind getting legal within their own state. Number three, what types of products are allowed under your state's cottage food laws? Well, most states that have cottage food laws limit food production to foods that are not potentially hazardous. Some states actually list out the specific foods that are allowed, while others are a little bit more vague by saying non-potentially hazardous. In general, if a product is likely to cause harm to customers if not kept in a proper storage or temperature conditions, then the item is usually considered potentially hazardous. But friend, I want you to take note that in general, items such as cream cheese, cheesecakes, and dipped fruit are often not eligible to be sold under the cottage food law. And I know that's going to be hard for some people to hear, but you're definitely going to want to look into the state requirements for your particular cottage food laws to see what exactly you can sell if you are running a baking and sweets business out of your home. Number four, where are you allowed to sell your product? So nearly all cottage food laws allow selling directly to the customer, whether it's the farmers markets, any type of food stands, or similar places like that. Depending on the state, this may or may not include online sales. Some states allow online sales, but you may not be able to ship across the state lines, which means that in some states you can sell your cupcakes and treats, but nationwide shipping may not be an option. As a cottage food operator, you may also not be able to sell to other businesses such as coffee shops or other restaurants who would then go on to sell your products to their customers. But as I said, it really all depends on your state, so make sure you look into that if you're trying to sell wholesale to another business. Number 5. Are there any limits on the amount of money you can make and still qualify as a cottage food operator? And that is actually a very important question, especially because it's got to do with the money. About half of the states that have cottage food laws place a limit on the income that you can earn and still be considered a cottage food operator. States can have a yearly cap on sales or sales limit for each eligible food item. Number 6, are there any food labeling requirements? Almost all the states with cottage food laws have labeling requirements that must be met to sell approved items. Usually some combination of the following must be included: name and address of the producer, common name of the product, ingredients, food allergens, net weight and volume, date the food was produced, and then a statement that says that the product was made in a home kitchen that has or hasn't been inspected by the State Department of Health. So these are just a few of the items that you should keep in mind when inquiring about the cottage food laws in your state. The laws are always subject to change, so make sure that you have the most up-to-date information for your state. As I mentioned earlier, you can find links to a few really good resources in the description box below. These will help you to continue on in your research. Please don't try to reinvent the wheel. Find people who have already gone through the process. If you don't personally know anyone, feel free to ask the Sweet Peeps in the Sweet Success Project, our bakery and sweet business support group on Facebook. The group has sweet makers from every state and from all over the world, and so many of them are willing to help you. Well, that's all the cottage food research tips that I have for you today, but if you found this video helpful, hit the thumbs up to tell YouTube that this video is legit. Also, make sure to connect with me on Instagram at sweet_fest and at Sugar Queen Academy, both of which I have linked in the description box. Look, you guys, I stay uploading business tips on Instagram, in the stories, and on my feed all the time. So if you like these nuggets, then we should definitely connect over on Instagram. Finally, if you need more business help, check out sugarcoins.com, where you will find more baking business trainings that touch on marketing, branding, and even pricing. If you want to grow and run a profitable sweets business, join me on sugarcoins.com, the business academy for bakers, cakers, and treat makers just like yourself.